Hola amigos y amigas, you are now with Jocelyn and I am so grateful that you are here, and I want to just acknowledge that we are currently sharing space together and we are going to be just digitally exchanging energy. So want to acknowledge that, want to extend my appreciation to you. And if you do watch this whole reading, I hope that something just resonates with you and your spirit and just guides you for the week to come. The intention of this reading is for us to simply understand what the overall energy for this week to come is and how we can best navigate it as our higher selves, as the best possible version of ourselves. So I'm excited to get into this because this coming week we have the new moon in Aries, and as we know, we recently had the start of the new astrological year, which is in Aries, and I just feel like we still have this theme of newness around us, and it just feels like a week to like really embrace and conquer and step into our power and our goals. So I'm excited to get into this reading, and also bless Easter for those of you who celebrate Easter. But yeah, already cleansed the space, already called in spirit, so we are going to get straight into it. And for those of you that do want to refer back to this video throughout the week, I'm going to leave some time stamps in the description below so that you can best and easily navigate this video in the case that you want to go to a specific card that I may have pulled. So I already pulled the overall energy for this week to come, and we got the White Witch, which is to be the light. Again, we have a new moon a week from today on Sunday, new moon in Aries, and I feel like we're going to be experiencing this surge of energy for us to really feel motivated and inspired to step into the goals that we may have been brainstorming for a long time. Something that came up to me recently is that it's time for us to stop romanticizing our ideas and our visions and our goals, and it's time for us to start executing. It's time for us to start like actually putting in the work, taking our first steps, continuing where it is that we may have left off. So let's really just embody this light. Let's embody our higher selves this week. And I feel like we're really just going to be feeling it. I'm going to go ahead and pull another card as this reading unfolds. I'll be understanding some previous cards even more and might be receiving more messages for them. So let's see how we can further understand the overall energy. Yep, Hunter. To track down your fears and desires. Yeah. Again, it's that week. It's that week to where it's time to like put in the work. I mean, we already have been doing the work, but it's like a different kind of energy where it's like we are embracing the light that exists within us. We are embracing stepping into the light. We are embracing our desires, our dreams, the things that we've been working towards, that we've been envisioning, the things that we have been prepping for. I feel like a lot of us have been in this stage of like preparation for months, thinking about our path, thinking about where we are investing our energy, reflecting on, if we are satisfied with where we are delegating our energy, what we are investing our energy into. And so we have been doing all this work, and now it's just time to start taking action in a new way, start taking action in a way that we are no longer just thinking about it or envisioning it or like planning, but actually doing the things that we need to do to start bringing things to light. So it's not even just like us being the light, but also giving light to our ideas, our dreams, our visions. And of course, you know, as we do that, as we do embody and become and step into the light, we are going to feel fears. We may feel triggered. We may have some uncertainties come up, but we've again been prepping for this. We're ready. We're more than ready. We are deserving. And with this upcoming new moon in Aries, it's like the perfect time for us to be stepping into this energy. Should any obstacles arise this week, what energy should we align with? Yeah, I'm gonna pull two. Should any obstacles arise this week, what energy should we align with? Should any obstacles arise this week, what energy should we align with? So, interesting. I feel like because the hunter came up to track down our fears and our desires, like on the same note, like to be the light is like the desires part, but again, like fears are going to come up. And I feel like even though we are more than ready, and even though we have been prepping for this for a long time, and even though I feel like all of us do know better, we know what we deserve, we know what we want, we know what we don't want, we're still working through certain fears. We're still working through certain patterns and ties that take time for us to heal, which is totally fine. And I feel like that's why this card came up for healing chaos. And this, I believe, came up in the last reading as well. So I feel like we're still in this, like the last reading where it was all about transition, we're still in this transitional period of like completely shedding this old version of ourselves and stepping into this new version of ourselves. But something that we really should focus on in the midst of all of this change, of all of this transformation, in the midst of perhaps any chaos that may come with this healing, that may come with stepping into the light, is just focusing on our blessings. And something that, you know, if for those of you that like really do follow me like on socials and stuff like that, you know that I'm huge on gratitude. And taking the time to express gratitude every single day really makes you realize and take note of just what all your blessings are. And so spirit guides, ancestors, angels are encouraging you to remember that in the midst of everything this week and the weeks to come, and really for the rest of your life, is to remember just how blessed you are. How blessed you are to know what it is that you want, to know who you want to become, to know who you are no longer, what you no longer resonate with. And if you feel like you're still figuring that out, you know, hold space for yourself this week. Invest in continuing to reflect and assess your life and what it is that you want to let go before the new moon in Aries comes in and blesses us with this new beginning. What should we focus on healing? What should we focus on healing? Okay. Yeah. We got a little shadow work going on in this reading. It's like this, we're seeing a lot of duality here. Wow. What should we focus on healing? What should we focus on healing? Yeah. This is so interesting how we have duality coming up. We have to be the light, to be the white witch, And the color white is like the color of purity, the color of like newness, of rebirth, like a new beginning. But then we also have the hunter. So it's like these dualities. And with the hunter, there's like the fears and the desires. And then we have the light, the beauty, the recognition of blessings. But we also understand, you know, that our shadow selves still exist and that there may be chaos in the midst of healing. So it's like these two dualities. And now when I ask like what it is that we need to focus on healing, we get death and sacred space. Continuing to hold sacred space for ourselves is so important. Sacred space to acknowledge the blessings, sacred space to track down our fears, sacred space to heal any chaos that may be coming from our transition, from our transformation, from pursuing our goals and our dreams and desires that we're stepping into. I feel like for a lot of us too, we are beginning to invest in things that we may have not invested in a long time or perhaps ever. So it's like there is a lot of newness emerging within us and in our own lives. And I also do feel like a lot of us are going through a lot in our personal lives that we're not speaking on, but I feel like collectively we almost know that we're all going through something. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like this like underlying feeling. But I feel like the death card came up for what it is that we need to heal, because we are going to be grieving the death of past versions of ourselves, the death of relationships that we may be letting go, the death of habits, patterns, thoughts, maybe even old dreams that you no longer resonate with, anything and everything that you just no longer connect with, that you are letting go of, is going to be going through a death period. And that's why it's so important for us to hold this sacred space for ourselves as we continue to transform, as we continue to align with our higher selves. So many endings, so many beginnings, you know? Like, have you really been taking stock this year of like the things that are ending in your life and the things that are beginning? And it really is all leading up to something really magical. So it's like, just continue to trust the process. And I feel like it's all gonna make sense pretty soon too. Especially with this, this new moon in Aries. Is it the first new moon in the new astrological year? I think it is. Maybe. What do we need to focus on surrendering? I'm gonna pull two for all of them. What do we need to focus on surrendering? Wow. Duality again. We got surrender defensiveness. So old versions of yourself may even be defending itself on its way out, telling you like, no, I don't want to go. Like, I still want to be here. I still want to be a part of you. I still want to be in your life. And here it says, defensiveness is a sign of weakness. To communicate in a more empowered way, stay centered and hear someone out, then offer a clear, non-defensive response. So old versions of you, and also the people, the environments around you that you are going to be letting go, they're going to be defensive. And they're going to be triggered. And it's important for you, when you are triggered, when you are surrounded by any kind of trigger, for you to step back and really think through how it is that you want to respond. Because again, you don't want to respond to things in a way that no longer resonates with you and your level of awareness. You want to respect everything that you have learned, everything that you have overcome, everything that you have become aware of, everything that you have been practicing, that you have been so diligently working on, and start responding in a way that aligns with this new you. So surrender defensiveness, keep that in mind, communicate in an empowered way by giving yourself the sacred space that you need to respond to the deaths in your life, the chaos in your life that may be showing up. And then we have surrender to the magic of who you are. We all have magic in us, even in the mundane aspects of life. Remember that you are a magical being with a uniqueness and worth that come from just being you. Have you noticed that you stepping into your higher self is really just you stepping into your most honest, truest, fullest self? Like, it's not you stepping into something else that is above you. It is you stepping into you more deeply. So remember that. Remember that your higher self is you, and that you are, again, a magical being with a uniqueness and worth that come from just being you. You simply being you, you simply existing, you simply being yourself. You are worth it, you are deserving, you are magic. And you are light, right? You are light. What is our affirmation for this week? What is our affirmation for this week? We got all is well in my world. Everything is working out for my highest good. Out of this situation, only good will come. I am safe. There you go. Holding sacred space for yourself is reminding yourself that you are safe. Holding a safe space for yourself is a sacred space. And remember that, again, as you are becoming this hunter and you are hunting down both your desires and your fears, and defensiveness may come up, and chaos may come up, and deaths in your life come up, just remind yourself and affirm that everything is working out for your highest good, because it is. We also got life is a mirror. The people in my life are really mirrors of me. This affords me the opportunity to grow and change. So one way to really learn about yourself is by observing the people around you, because the people that you have around you and in your life reflect a part of you, and you reflect a part of them. And that's why we outgrow people, because as we evolve and we no longer resonate with the old reflections of ourselves and other people, we no longer feel called to have those people in our lives. And that's why it's so important for us to honor that, and to allow ourselves, to grant ourselves the opportunity to transform. Because if not, we're just holding ourselves back from the magic, from the blessings, from the light, from our desires, from our highest selves, from our truest selves. Let me make sure that this is recording. Yes, perfect. I've had so many of these energy reading videos have a technical difficulty and delete, and I'm just no, it's such a good reading, and I feel like this is such a good reading. But I do want to highlight the fact that we do have this duality of shadow work, of our shadow selves and our light selves. So let me see. So at the top here we have, I feel like the affirmations are kind of go hand in hand with both the shadow and the light. But for the light, just so I can make it clear for you, we have to be the light. blessings, sacred space, surrendering to the magic of who you are. So those are all the light, right? And then we have the shadow, the darkness, the hunter, healing chaos, death, surrender, defensiveness. These are all part of our shadow selves. So I think it's only inevitable that we had a reading like this come up during the week of a very special new moon in Aries, at the very end of this week. So I feel like leading up to that new moon, we may have things pop up in our lives that may test us, that may resurface to be cleared once more. And it's like just so important for us to really stand our ground, to remain centered, and to remind ourselves of like who it is that we are becoming, that we're stepping into, that we are ascending into, so that we can properly say no and properly say yes and properly just respond and communicate in a way that isn't like defensive, that isn't weak, that is empowered, that knows what it wants, that understands that this is all just a part of the process, this is all a part of the journey. What a beautiful reading. This is such a good reading. Yeah, I feel like it would be a good exercise this week to think about mirror reflections, if that's not something that you have done already, to be observant of the people in your life and see like, how does this person reflect me, or how do I reflect this person? What about this person is very similar to me? Both the shadow self and the light self. And it is good to have people in your life that do reflect parts of yourself that are your shadow self, because then you can look at yourself, right? And understand yourself even more, and the work that you need to continue to do. But you just have to be mindful of that, right? But invest in really good, beautiful relationships that reflect the light in you, that reflect the magic in you, because you deserve that. And remember that everything is working out for your highest good, for your higher self. So it's going to be a very transformative week. Remember that you are safe. Remember to hold a sacred space for yourself. And remember that you are equipped and you do know better. So it's time to do better. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for those that stuck around. I hope that you resonated with this reading, or this reading brought you some clarity or some light, or it will bring you some clarity or light, or you will resonate with this later on in the week. Again, this is going to have timestamps, so it is easily navigatable for you in the case that you want to revisit a specific part of this reading. But again, thank you so much for being here. I'm so grateful to deliver this message to you. Thank you so much to our ancestors, spirit guides, angels, sacred ones, guardians, for delivering this message and for loving us and supporting us in our evolution, and guiding us. So share this video with anyone that you feel may benefit from it, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Have a beautiful, blessed week ahead, and happy upcoming new moon. Bye.